So am I hearing you correctly, Rio? Are you saying that people should admire what Amorim has done? Is that what you're trying to say to me? Or
no, I admire it to a certain extent, but like I said, he was playing Russian roulette with his job. I respect it, but I wouldn't have done it because actually, I'm living and dying by results here. But he may say in the long term and goes, you know what, we might look back in 6 months and say Man United finishing the Champions League or something like that happens, right? He'll probably sit there confident and go, well, if I did change, I probably would have been out of a job. Yes, guys, we are back with another episode of Rare Presents, brought to you by Crafted. And guys, Joel Bayer is back in the house. How you doing? But we're missing Mr. Steve Howson, man. That's the only thing.
It's all right, man. Man United got their spoils, their wins. Arsenal got their wins. It's a good episode. We're all together, people. We're all together on this one.
Everyone's happy. Rio? Everyone's happy, man. Everyone's happy. Plus, we've got 3 wins on the spin for Mr. Ruben Amorim. So I'm delighted. Obviously, you're delighted. You're top of the table. I think it's by 4 points now, isn't it, from City? So 6 points clear of Man United. So we're in your slipstream right now.
Nah, we ain't worried about anyone else. But I'm just happy we got over the Palace thing. But you know what, Rio? It's mad how things can change so quickly after 3 weeks. Because 3 weeks ago, everybody said Amorim out. Do you remember?
He's been called stubborn a hell of a lot since he's come in because he's just stuck to his guns. He's stuck to what he was doing. But he has adapted. He's adapted the way that he's played. He's got a goalkeeper now, Lemens, that looks super assured, who's going long, playing the ball a lot longer than we've seen in the past with the other goalkeepers here. So he's playing direct. He's obviously believes he's got a front man now, Sesko, who can actually cause more havoc, can hold the ball up better, can flick on. And the 2 wider guys as well, if he plays the ball into them, they're going to hold it more often than not as well. So it seems like there's a more secure feeling at the back, but at the top end of the pitch, when playing balls directly up there seems a more secure kind of feeling around the camp.
I have to ask you, Rio, the centre midfield looks reassured. You got to tell me, why is it that Bruno and Casemiro are working a lot better now?
Because we aren't allowing transitions. And I think the manager has to take credit for that. He's tweaked it, like I said, the back and front areas he's tweaked, but also in the midfield areas. We were trying to go high against teams and really go and win the ball almost around their penalty area. We were going up right behind the strikers. You had Bruno up there. You had Casemiro up there. And I said from the beginning, I've maintained it from the beginning, Casemiro's game is not about chasing high up the pitch constantly. He built a career. He built a stellar career, a 5 Champions League winning career on the back of being the glue, the person that knitted the back line and the midfield line together. Right, and just plugged the gaps and wasn't asked to run all over the place. He wasn't asked to be a creator. He was asked to get it and give it to the people that can create, do his bit here and there. He might score the odd goal here and there when he went a bit loose, but he was the one who was mopping up and cleaning and doing all the dirty work and being able to stay in an area and marshal that area. And recently, this is what we've seen. He's looked something like the old Casemiro. It takes me back to what was said by Jamie Carragher about leave the game. What was his line? It was like,
it's best to leave the football before the football leaves you.
Yeah, which I said at the time I thought was highly disrespectful when you're talking about a 5-time Champions League winner who's going through maybe just a change in approach to football, going through a time where he looked out of sorts. Players lose confidence, they lose form. Sometimes players' legs go, but I think the call was too early and I thought it was highly disrespectful for someone who's achieved so much in his game.
And I think it was wrong as well, Rio, because the whole team wasn't playing well. So sometimes it feels like he was pinpointing a little bit. Yes, there's a high expectation on someone like Casemiro because of his experience, but you know, it's not solely down to one player. How many times were people saying Bruno is the problem? You know,
exactly. And I think it's a massive point you make there, Joel. Sometimes you've got to look beyond just trying to find an individual. We're very fond of finding a scapegoat, right? Sometimes you've got to look at the way a team is playing and saying, is that impacting a player negatively, or is it actually the player who's gone? And I think by looking at the way that the system's changed a little bit and been tweaked, formations hasn't been changed, it's just a tweak in the approach, okay? And you're seeing the benefits from someone like Casemiro. And now listen, this isn't a 20-game sequence, so you're not going to go too crazy, but in the games we've seen recently, when there's been an upturn of form. And by the way, I've got a stat here for you. It's a nice stat, you know.
Yeah, go on.
From Rob Dawson. United have only conceded 3 goals this season while Casemiro has been on the pitch.
Wow.
None since the start of September. Of the 16 goals conceded in all comps, he's been on the pitch. He's been off the pitch for all 13 of them. Both Brighton goals came after he'd left the pitch. Amorim spoke glowingly about him, about his character, his resilience. You don't win 5 Champions League without those 2 aspects in your makeup: resilience and character, work ethic. Now he's the reference point for any player that's going through a hard time at this football club.
So Rio, what are you saying? That Amorim has become less stubborn?
All of the time we've been sitting here and saying Amorim's got a style of football and the way he's playing, and that's it. He's not going to change. And I was saying a couple of weeks ago, he's asking a lot of players to play a game that's almost alien to him. So we were talking about Casemiro there. He was playing a type of football that he's never played. It never got him the move to Man United. It never got him to 5 Champions Leagues. It was totally different to the way that he'd played football before, and tactically. And there was, I think, too many players in that sense. I think Cunha and Mbeumo especially, their roles are hugely significant because they enable us to be able to transition quickly and retain possession a lot of the time. I think Cunha keeps the ball in the tightest of situations with 3 or 4 people around him ridiculously well. And Mbeumo, he'll end up getting a shot off or he'll create something all the time and makes it hard for defenders. Those aspects are huge. So the manager then can go, actually, I'll play maybe a little bit of a different way now. And what he's been good at as well is being able to go, right, with knowing what I just said about the 3 strikers there, he's been good at saying, actually, there are times in the game when we don't have to go on press. We can stand off. We can stand off and have 2 blocks and go, right, but when we win it, we will be a threat. Now, I don't think that's something that he's going to say this is a sustainable kind of approach for the long term. But I think to get us through this phase, and I think a lot of fans will be going, well, we've been saying this for a long time, and we've been asking for this for a long time. But the manager's the manager, and he's paid to make decisions, and he's took as long as he's taken. We're happy that he's here where he is right now. But I do believe, and I've said this a lot of time, and I'll maintain it still, we have to judge this man when players that he has selected and recruited come through the door. And up until this window, when Sesko and Mbeumo and Cunha, especially, and then the goalkeeper come in, he'd only signed 1 player. And that was Dorgu. So we were judging him on a squad that it wasn't even his. There was no identity that was his. Now we're starting to see his identity come through with this team. Yes, there's tweaks, but things are looking positive now. But look what can happen in 3 weeks, and it can quickly go the other way. So that's why we're not going to get too excited.
It can, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here really quickly before we move on. To me, it seemed like whether it was his squad or not, there is still no excuse to have the worst start as a Man United manager. There is no excuse to have had you finish where you had finished in the table. And I also believe that these tweaks came almost at the consequence of him losing his job. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and I think he was playing high stakes. He's playing high risk, and it was like, it's the self-belief that was built on the back of dominating the Portuguese league. Said to him, I'm not going to change. Why change? And I respect it to a certain extent. And if you think about it logically, he's worked his socks off to get Sporting Lisbon to a dominant phase that they haven't seen for donkey's years, if ever. Won the league there, etc., then gets a move to Manchester United and then goes, right, I'm going to change the style of football after 6 months. When you think about it logically, I'm going to go to a style of football that didn't win me the league, that I don't really know that well, and I'm expecting things to get better. I don't know. I don't know if any other industry you'd do that so much, but I don't think he's changed drastically. He's just tweaked, and that's what a lot of fans are asking for. Just tweak what you've got. Maybe don't be so much on your front foot. Maybe be a bit more conservative at times when we haven't got the ball. Maybe actually leave the forward guys to get up there and be a threat when we are taking a step back here and there. And I always think in a game, you can't press for 90 minutes unless you're an absolute beast of a team. PSG do it. But they're a young, hungry, well-drilled team, like with supremely confident players who were able to pick up what the manager wanted immediately and could implement it immediately. This manager couldn't do that with this squad. And that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles.
So am I hearing you correctly, Rio? Are you saying that people should admire what Amorim has done? Is that what you're trying to say to me? Or
no, I admire it to a certain extent, but like I said, he was playing Russian roulette with his job. I respect it, but I wouldn't have done it because actually I'm living and dying by results here. But he may say in the long term and goes, you know what, we might look back in 6 months and say Man United finishing the Champions League or something like that happens, right? He'll probably sit there confidently and go, well, if I did change, I probably would have been out of a job because I'd have been doing things that are alien to me. I'd have been trying to coach players and they'd have been seeing through what I'm trying to coach them because it's different to what I know and it isn't what I know perfectly and it's not what I believe in. And so, but he can only say that because he started to pull the results around. And if he did get to that stage and he goes, you know what, actually, I've lived through it and I've got past that. But a lot of managers don't get to where he's got and don't get the time that he's been given. That's why I think Ineos, if things keep continuing and we do well, they're going to have a lot of credit to be taken because a lot of people would have panicked in that situation and the noises and the negativity that was coming out from various parts of the fan base, but also media, it would have been easy for them to go, do you know what, guys, got to have a new start. But they haven't.
True. It's true. Now you've got Man United fans screaming that they're 6 points behind Arsenal. Goodness. But you know what? A lot of people have been getting in touch discussing Casemiro. Ria, I want you to give me your thoughts on these points, please. So we got Don't Call Me Joseph. He says Casemiro has worked hard and he looks fit. He's able to cover the ground so quickly despite not having the pace and is reading the game better. Which brings me to Mainoo. How should he watch what Casemiro has done? Because he could learn a thing or two.
I think you can watch and learn that there was a player that was being told he's not good enough to be at Manchester United. The pressure was on. Have to sell him. He's going to go. Exactly what Kobbie Mainoo's been through. So I think character-wise, personality-wise, there's a lot to learn from Casemiro. Yes, there is in a football sense as well, but they're very different players. I think the way that they're playing right now, if Kobbie was to come in a team, would suit him much better because there's not the big transition element to it. And that's where I think he would struggle, like most in this team. So the way that they're playing, like they're deciding to hold off and stand off and be a bit conservative at times and then win it and play forward, I think would suit Kobbie. But you've got Casemiro, a man in form, and you've got Bruno Fernandes, the most decisive player that we've got. It's going to be hard for Kobbie to get in there right now.
It's true. What about Adaptable? Keep aside his success. Apart from Cristiano, he is the most professional player Man United have had in the post-Sir Alex era. Proper role model for up-and-coming players.
100%. And I think every time I've spoken to Casemiro, it's mad because I had a coffee with him just after he signed. And he was just talking about working hard and proving himself and really just wanting to immerse himself in the football club and understand expectations. And it was really like, I'm sitting there going, you've won 5 Champions League, bro. You ain't got to like, you've done it all. You're going to be cool. But it just shows you it doesn't matter what reputation you come with. It doesn't matter what you've won. You've got to rebuild yourself and go, right, here I am, guys. This is the new version of me in a new kit at a new club. And there's been loads to learn and my ears are open. You're never too old. You're never too experienced. You're never too successful to learn. And he is a glowing reference point for that for any young player at Man United. And I go as far as to say other players from around the world because, as I said, it's easy for him to have switched off and gone, listen, just look at the medals, man. Look at the medals over there. Shut up. Don't talk to me. Don't chat. You think I'm going to work now? You think I'm going to down talk? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of players, a lot of kids, but there's a lot of players that are playing that should be looking at him and going, rah, that's how you do it.
We got the Amorim quote here, Rio. The other guys need to look at Casemiro. In the beginning, he was behind every midfielder, even Toby Collier. But he fought and worked and is so important for us. It shows football can change really fast. That's a big quote, that.
That could have absolutely humiliated him, and it would have, because listen, football players are intelligent in a football environment, right? And they all smell where they are in the pecking order. So if Amorim's telling you that, but every player in that squad would have known Casemiro is at the back of the pack. Toby's being called upon before him. Do you know how embarrassing that would have been for Casemiro? But for him to roll his sleeves up and say, no, ain't happening. You all know I'm better than him. You all know I'm the best holding midfielder at the club. Watch this space. And just grit. Do you know what I mean? Toby Collier's at West Brom now. Do you know what I mean? It's And that's no disrespect. I think he's a really good young player with a bright future. But I'm just talking about the element of Casemiro having that grit and determination to roll his sleeves up and say, no, you're not going to embarrass me. You're not going to roll me out of this club like that after what I've done. Let's go. And that's what I think a lot of fans would have wanted from like the likes of Rashford, from Sancho, from Anthony, from those guys that have, listen, they've gone elsewhere now and they're doing their thing, and good luck to them. Yeah. But especially Rashford, because he's homegrown. I think a lot of people going, listen, just stay and fight and be here and fight for it. Be a Man United player and hold on. Grit your teeth and hold on by your fingernails. But sometimes it's just not the way, and everyone's story is different, and everyone's kind of future is very different from everyone else. And Rashford's doing his thing at Barcelona. I watched him last night actually in the game against in the Clásico. Yeah, and he set up one of the goals. So I'm glad to see him over there enjoying his football.
Yeah, massive shout out to Scott McTominay as well.
Oh, McSauce, man, what's going on? McTominay is. Can we just? This wasn't even in the script today, right? But McTominay, Joe, you've hit the nail on their head,
bro.
Man.
I see him. You see the styles change. Even when he celebrates and he scores, I'm like, this is big Napoli, you know.
Bro, there's extra dimensions in the quiff now. I'm seeing the different, the fashion's all different now. When the pictures I'm seeing, he looks $1 million. He looked good anyway before, but he's been given a new lease of life, right? While he's gone there. Mm-hmm. But you know what's been the big difference for him?
What?
They've just defined a position for him and said, go at it. He was in no man's land at Man United. Yeah. No real position, no consistency. In and out, no real confidence or belief from the manager. He's at a place where all that's flipped on his head and they love him. And they're just saying, you know what? Go and do what you're good at. Run onto things, run in the box and cause havoc. And he's finishing. And everyone's always said he can finish. And he looks $1 million.
Showed it for Scotland. Just beat Inter Milan 3-1 on the weekend. They're now top of Serie A. Now, honestly, that is a great story right there. But yeah, shout out to him. For sure.
I was talking to midfielders as well, Jude Bellingham. Did you see the assist for the goal?
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Jude!
Yeah.
Oh my God. The little spin, he spun Pedri, move out of the way, little bit of a body feint, and then the weight of pass to Mbappe. Mbappe, by the way, is just there just a killer.
He's a killer.
His goals to game ratio against, I think he's got something like 14 goals in 9 games or 9 goals in 14. One of them. He's just scoring a lot of goals against Barca.
He's the best player in the world right now. I've been saying to people right now, if you was to say Kylian Mbappe, for me right now is the best player in the world. Full stop. Like incredible at the moment. Incredible.
I love him.
Yeah, but yeah, that El Clásico was absolute fire. Going back to the role of confidence, Rio, right? We just spoke about Scott McTominay, etc. Could you tell us about a time where you noticed it was affecting your own game? It
was more with England, you know.
Really?
Because at one point, I wasn't sure if Capello really, really rated me. I thought he rated me, but I didn't think, like, I want you to know I'm the best. I want you to think I'm the best. I want to feel it from you that you trust me implicitly. And I thought it might have been only a couple of percent. It might have been 5%, 10%. I don't know what it was, but I didn't feel it completely, right? And so every decision I'm making on the football pitch, I'm half questioning inside in my head. No one might have known this, but like I'm making a pass. I'm shouting to somebody. I'm making a movement and I'm thinking, I'm half wanting to look to the manager. Is he waving his hands in disbelief what I'm doing, or is he happy? Do you know what I mean? I just didn't know where I stood with him. And so I never felt absolutely comfortable or confident with him. And it does take away something from your performance. There's the edge, the sharpness, that little millisecond of doubt in your mind, the whole picture's changed in front of you. The game looks different. So decisions that you're making are going to be different and could be impacted by that massively. I remember when I was a kid, I played against Luton, funnily enough, in the reserves. I was like 17 or 18.
Who was you playing for?
For West Ham.
Okay.
I was in the reserves before I got in the first team, and probably the worst form of my whole life, right? Making mad mistakes. I think I must have had a growth spurt or something. I can put it down to. And then obviously a lack of confidence comes in. Every time I got the ball, even bringing it down out of the air when my touch was like, I don't ever question my touch, right? And I was bringing the ball down thinking, please on the ball. Oh, please bring it down. Stuff like that, and kicking the ball out of play, even falling over my feet at times.
Wow.
And I was like, how am I going to get out of this? And sometimes, and this is where I talk about Rashford and Sancho and these guys, right? I had a change of environment. Mel Mason, the manager of Bournemouth, called West Ham and said, can Rio come on loan? I was like, wow, have they seen me play this month? I've been rubbish. They said they want me. They took me on loan. And from the moment I got there, just that change of environment and the manager going, this is Rio, he's playing Saturday in the first team, was like, this is what I've needed. It's a change in confidence, change in environment. And that's why sometimes a change in environment is as important as anything. And that changed my whole trajectory over the coming years. I came back from that loan. I went straight into the first team at West Ham, and then the rest is history.
Insane. I want to mention Mr. Danny Welbeck. You know what? He's played for Manchester United, for Arsenal, for Brighton. These are like the main clubs that he's played for. And I'll be honest with you, his career at Brighton might surpass all the other clubs that he's played for, because if he was 6 years younger, I'll be saying that guy has to get on the plane for the World Cup next year. He's that real. Where does he rank behind Harry Kane in terms of English strikers right now at the age of 34?
Second. He's second to Harry Kane.
No. Seriously?
If you're talking form right now, and if the squad was being picked tomorrow, Danny Welbeck has to go, no? Experience, can do different types of things on the pitch for you. He can run behind if need be, like we saw even at Old Trafford at the weekend. He can run behind. He can come short and link play as well as anybody outside of Harry Kane. Like, he's an all-round footballer. If it weren't for the injuries that he'd had earlier in his career, I'm telling you, and I think he should have stayed at Man United. I always say this to him. Should have stayed. Obviously, sometimes it's not his decision. But I think it was a balls up that they actually let him leave the football club. Like, a Manchester boy, loves the club, a great kid, never a day's trouble for anybody at the football club, never gets into trouble, nose is always clean, got a nice way about him, great family. What are you selling him for? Like, if the manager who'd come in, I forget, it might have been Van Gaal, whoever come in and said, yeah, you can go, you say, no, this one's out of your hands, mate. This ain't for you. You don't know the detail behind this one. Leave this to us. And he's in. He's staying. All right. So make it work. That's what should have happened with Danny Welbeck. Yeah. But he's a class act on and off the pitch. Great guy. And he'll be on the pod soon, I'm sure. But I would take him. If he finishes the season in the form he's in right now, there's no way you can't take him, because you're only going there for a month. It ain't like we're saying to him, oh, you've got to play a full season. You've got to be ready. And that role, he can do that role where he can come in and out. Do you know what I mean? And be a supporting act to someone like Harry Kane.
But if you're talking about for England, Rio, you've obviously got Ollie Watkins, Dominic Solanke, Ivan Toney. They're the three that are in the frameworks. So you would, have him as third choice?
I'd have him as... Right this moment in time, form-wise, he's above all of them, right? And playing in the best league in the world, right? So I think he's second for me. I'd say Ivan Toney. There's something about Ivan Toney that I just feel for England. He's got that little bit of a swagger and goes, "Give me the ball." If there's a big moment that comes up, I don't know if he's going to fluff that chance. I think he's got the arrogance to go, "Give it to me." Why are you cutting it back to Harry? Cut it back to me vibes. He's got that, and you need that in them big moments. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think Ollie Watkins has fell out of form a little bit. Solanke's not in the form of a Danny Welbeck either. I just feel, and I think Danny Welbeck offers a bit more in multiple areas. But Toney, I'll take Toney. I'm sorry, I don't care what league he's playing in. I've been covering a bit of the Saudi league. It's better than people give it credit for, by the way. And we saw that in the Club World Championship. Al Hilal beat Man City, and I think they drew with Real Madrid. So it shows you the caliber of the teams over there now. But Ivan Toney would be a special case for me. I would take Ivan Toney.
You were covering for a station yesterday. I didn't quite get the chance.
Semenya.
Oh, okay, cool. What game was it?
It was Etihad Benzema's team against Al Hilal, where Ruben Neves and Savic and Malcolm and a few other players. Darwin Núñez has gone there as well.
Oh, nice.
Probably, I think, the most successful team out there. Really? And they won 2-0, to be fair.
Okay. How's my boy Benzema doing? What was he saying?
Still got the class touches. But I think his team this season, they won the league last year. His team this season, I saw Cristiano's team a couple of weeks back beat them comfortably, and they got beat again by Al Hilal, and they don't look like the champions of Saudi right now. They look a shadow of themselves, to be honest.
And shout out to Cristiano Ronaldo achieving 950 goals. If you asked me after the Euros, last year, I said, Rio, I think it's time's up, bro. I think you have to hang up the boots.
Get the clip.
No, you ain't got to get it. I've said it here. You know what I mean? I don't have to hide behind this one. But he's come back, Nations League, done well in his league, and he's on 950 goals. He ain't done.
It's true. He's there every week. There's like a new milestone. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Crazy.
It's ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah.
But listen, I was speaking with the guys at Crafted, and they were telling me about a new campaign that they've got coming up about like mastering your craft, and it got me thinking about one of the old guys we had on. Well, not one of the old guys, but a guy we had on the station a while back last season, Jed Spence. Who we love on this show. I love him for his, like, obviously the way he's playing football, but also his self-belief, his ability to wear a pair of black sunglasses in a dark room while the interview was going on was just like elite for me. But he's confidence in like 1v1 situations and battles on the pitch. And he's someone who's obviously working hard to master his craft in 1v1 defending, because he's so confident. And when he sat in that studio with us, he had so much confidence in his ability about talking openly about locking players down. And as a defender, I know that's difficult, but when you're putting in that work, you get the trust from the manager and your players and teammates. And now he's reaping the rewards. And I'm just happy to see that how well he's doing with that.
What about his social, Rio? I know you love it, but is it going to create more problems for him in the future?
It does bring pressure. When you talk, it brings pressure. I mean, we talk about Jed Spence here, and I love his social media for that. He has the Akon song. I got locked up. Don't let me down. He has him like that music playing and the player on a lead on a chain. You know what I mean? Who've been locked up the winger. I love that confidence, right? Yeah. And someone's going to get the better of him, and then the people will be a stampede of people going, look at that Jed Spence. He's been done. But that goes with the territory. If you can be confident enough to say it, you've got to be confident enough that actually when it's roles reversed, you can take it. And I think he's built himself to be like that. You look at Lamine Yamal at the weekend, he'd done a lot of talking before the Clásico. And then all of a sudden, Danny Carvajal after the game, and then Vinicius Jr. getting onto him, causing a ruckus there as well. But if you're going to talk, these boys have got the confidence now. It's different. If you're going to talk, you've got to be able to take it. And what happens with attacking players, especially like Lamine Yamal, be sitting there and going, you know what, it'll hurt him now, but he'll be sitting there going, and he'll know, I'm going to have my day again. I'm going to have a chance to come here again. And I'm going to have a chance to embarrass these boys, and they will find out when I do that. And I'm sure he'll be straight back onto social media and on the pitch and going, guys, there'll be a meme that he'll create. I'm sure. This is the way it is, and I love it. This is what we want in the game. More of this. So I love it. Keep it coming.
Yeah. And obviously, I know I'm making a lot of references to Jed here, but his ability to defend on a one-on-one basis, how important is it to be able to defend one-on-one for a modern fullback?
Well, it was huge. I think, listen, who's been the best in the business in the last 6-7 years? Kyle Walker. Yeah. Kyle Walker 1v1, like locking down the best players in the world at times, right? He had a spell where he was just like unplayable. You can build a career on being a great 1v1 defender. And I think this is the thing with today's game. Everything's about with the ball. But listen, if you can be super elite in one element of your game, like 1v1 or something like that, you can build a whole career on that. Do you know what I mean? Kyle Walker was one of the ones who was always flying up and down if you watch his games at Sheffield United and Spurs, okay? But got to Manchester City and you know what, stay there, be our security. And you need to be in the right situation, put in the right situation for your skills to be able to excel sometimes. And Jed Spence, not that he's in that realm yet, but Jed Spence is being allowed to be really great at what he's great at.
So if I was to ask you today, Rio, when it comes to mastering your craft as a defender, who's the best in the world for these one-on-one battles right now?
Oh, 1v1. Mendes at Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, bad
That's
player.
a good shout. That is a good shout.
I think I saw Gary Neville speak the other day. I think it was on his podcast. I'm not sure, but he said that. Who did he say? He said Timber's the best fullback at doing both going back and going forward. I absolutely disagree. I don't know if he meant Premier League, but if he means around in full stop,
no.
Timber's top. Timber's a great defender. I think Timber's top. Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
But the best fullbacks in the world are Paris Saint-Germain have got the best two in the world, and I think Reece James is probably just behind that. I was going to say
Reece James is up there without a doubt. I'll put Reece James above Timber.
I think Reece James right now, I would put him number 3. I'd put Nuno Mendes because of the calibre of games they've been playing in the last year or two, right, as well.
Yeah.
And I'd put Nuno Mendes and I'd put Hakimi as the 2 best fullbacks in the world right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Reece James just behind that.
That's not a bad shout at all. But there's another topic I want to get onto, Rio.
Go on.
We got to talk about my boys, man. How confident are you that we will be winning the Premier League title this season? Why? I want to know yes or no and why.
I think you're going to win it. And there's 2 reasons why. Because I think that you're going to play, you're going to be consistent. And you've got the experience of going the course, being pipped at the end, but you've gone the course for the last couple of seasons, and you've got experienced players that know what that feels like, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want that again. So that's a good thing in your squad right now. There's a hunger. And the greatest thing that's going for you right now is that I don't see anyone else being able to stay the pace. I don't see anyone else being able to be consistent enough, because Man City, again, got beat at the weekend. We thought, are they coming back? No, they're not. They're inconsistent still. Haven't found a way to get out of that. And Liverpool aren't a team of last season right now. 4 defeats on the bounce, miles off it. So, what do you think though? Is this the? Listen, we've seen you with shades on in the dark. We've seen you with cigars. We've seen you with cake.
I've changed.
Is this the time that you felt the most confident in an Arsenal team to be able to go and get the job done and win the league?
No.
What?
I think I'm just being honest. I think the year when Saliba got injured against Liverpool, I thought that year we were going to do it. I really did. But it goes back to what you were saying. Probably the experience to, go the whole way. It wasn't really there. In fact, it was probably the first season where we had gone as far as we did. So that season for me was the one where I thought we were going to win it. But in terms of when I see the squad and the confidence, I do think it's a very, very strong squad, but I was also looking at the depth when you compare it to City and Liverpool. Have you got the team up on your sheet there, Rio?
Yeah, I think Liverpool's depth. I think probably I would say isn't as good as I think City and Arsenal's. I think City's isn't far behind. You look at their bench the other day; they got Mamouche, Cherki on the bench, Doku on the bench. Just those 3 alone. You know what I mean? You got Nathan Ake's experience, Kovacic's experience, Rico Lewis can play. That's a top bench.
I think theirs is better than ours, Rio. And I've got to be really honest with you. I think it is.
Yeah,
you got Cherki sitting on the bench.
Yeah. It's definitely that. There's definitely a parity at least there, right? But I think Arsenal's squad is a really
strong.
really good strong squad. You got like top players all over the pitch that are coming. Skelly ain't had no proper consistent matches on the bounce, you know what I mean, properly. Yeah. Like he was probably one of your best performers last year. Like he ain't really got in this year. So it's the squad depth. I think the recruitment has been good. I think what's been good about Arsenal over the last few years, one, the manager's had time and confidence given to him by the board and the hierarchy, which has been great. And it's a great, I think, reference point for a lot of clubs to look at if you want to start building and building success for the future. He's gotten close every year. They've invested in talent and players that are going to make not only the first 11 but the squad better. People questioning Madueke. He started the season like a house on fire, and he showed straight away why he's come in. And then they go and get probably one of the most sought after strikers in the game. Listen, he hasn't hit the ground running yet, but the intention is there to solidify what they've got and improve, and they're buying what they need. Even the young centre back they got from I think it was Valencia. He's been, every time he's come on, he's looked assured. He's looked really good.
Mascara. He's tops, Rio.
Yeah, I love him. I love him. And that's what I'm saying. You've got 3 centre-backs who you can call upon at any point and go, right, you've obviously got your 2, who are the best. But Mascara's going to come in and it's like, I'm not worried about him at all. Doesn't worry me. Doesn't concern me that he has to come in. Cost £13 million, by the way. Great recruitment.
Robbery.
So it's I just think you guys are in a really good place. You've got the likes of Declan Rice, who's he's a leader of today's generation. Every game he's out there, you see he's dominant, he's assured, he's security within your team. His delivery at set pieces where you're so dominant is like ridiculous. So, I mean, I'm waxing lyrical about your Arsenal team. And listen, I've said this for years, right? And I know there's loads of people that think I'm an Arsenal hater. I'm not. I would like Arsenal to win the league instead of Man City or Liverpool. If there's them 3 teams going for it, I'm an Arsenal fan right now for that. All right? If Man United are in the mix, which you will be at some point, don't get twisted.
Stop it, Rio.
I'll be Man United. Not right now, we won't be in the mix. We won't get in the mix. We won't be in the mix this year.
Next week when they lose.
Listen, we won't be in the mix this year, but we're going to be coming soon, all right? It just happens. This is the way football works. It's cycles, right? But if Man City, Liverpool or Arsenal were fighting for the league, I'm an Arsenal fan that season.
Right. Listen, just to round it off very quickly, and you guys are going to love this, Man United fans watching Liverpool. They are looking open like a tin can of tuna. Scored similar amount of goals as last season. So it's 9 games, 16 goals. Conceded 14 this season in the campaign. Only conceded 5 after 9 matches last season. Rio, Roy Keane even said that Van Dijk should be looking at himself. Do you agree or disagree with that?
No, I don't think it's a one-man thing. I think, listen, when you're the captain, all eyes are on you. So your name probably gets shouted at first. It'll be him or Salah, the 2 biggest players in the squad. Just signed new deals. So there's loads of issues and people are going and pointing the finger. But this is a squad thing. They didn't win the league last season because of Salah and Virgil van Dijk only. They won it because they were the best team. All right. So any of them playing to the level they played at last season. McAllister was being called one of the best midfielders in the world. Gravenberch was being called one of the best midfielders in the world last year. Are they at that level this season? No. So it ain't just Van Dijk and it ain't just Salah. Yeah. So all of them. I think Diaz leaving has been, don't know if that's good business. I think he's a top player, Diaz. Being allowed to leave the club, I think. Have they replaced him with anything better? Is Gakpo better? I would say no chance. So like they're just not functioning. They're not playing as well. The new players that have come in have probably unbalanced the team a little bit with the way the manager's trying to apply it. And I think the manager coming out and saying, and listen, again, it's weird because you want him to speak and you want him to be open. But if you're a Liverpool fan, I'm seeing a lot of Liverpool fans go, why is he speaking like this? Why is he saying it? Why is he talking so much? Like the excuse about, teams are playing different and playing long balls against us. This is football. There's many more ways than just one way and just ticky-tacky to skin the cat. There's ways to win football matches that can be so different. If a team is playing long ball against you, this is what I always find funny, like when people say, just because you score from set pieces like Arsenal. Steve says it with you and Arsenal, you're a set piece merchant, so it's Tony Pulis in disguise or whatever. Arteta. Listen, man, if you're going to win games and you win the league, who cares? It's a bad excuse when you're saying our teams are playing. Look, we should be able to deal with it. Yeah. You've got some of the best players in the world. You've got Van Dijk and Konate, two top players, 2 top centre halves. You've got 2 fullbacks that you spent a fortune on. You should be able to deal with that or adapt and find a way to deal with it. If teams are playing long balls against you, work on a way to deal with that. Win the first ball and get your midfielder closer for that second ball. Second ball in the Premier League is one of the biggest things that you've got to be able to adapt to. Yeah. And they're being asked, can you adapt to that? And right now, 4 defeats on the bounce is saying no, they can't. So they've got to find a way.
I agree with you, and that's what makes Sir Alex Ferguson and Jose Mourinho and Pep so special, because these guys are winning it back to back. On your case, 3 times in a row. Do you know what I mean? Pep doing the madness. It's not easy, man. But my question is, does Slot need to be a bit more stubborn like Amorim and drop like some of the big signings, or maybe even drop Salah in a Premier League game just to make sure that the style and the system goes the way he wants it to go?
No, I don't know. I mean, I've seen Salah's taken a lot of stick as well, and I've seen people saying he should be out of the team and drop him and whatnot, man. He's been your main man for 8 years. He's having a little bad spell at the moment. You're going to take him out? It seems wild to me, man. Like, I just feel that you've got to find ways to get him the ball quicker sometimes as well. And I think Trent leaving Even Trent going to Real Madrid was a big call from him, right? Because you got the captain, Carvajal's there. I know he was injured, but he's back and he's playing again, etc. So it's always going to be a hard wait in that sense. But also Liverpool kind of letting that situation get to that point where the cards are in his hands. You're seeing now, like, listen, I think Frimpong's a really good player, but he's so different, right? Mo Salah's used to getting the ball quick. He's used to getting a transition is not about people running with the ball a lot of the time. A transition sometimes was the ball coming straight from Trent, not even had to go to Mo Salah, but go to someone where it'll be up the pitch 40 yards and then Mo Salah's on the end of it on the next pass or straight into Mo Salah, a 1v1 or running onto things. It's like there's defensively we talked about Trent going, but just with the ball as well, he was such a massive part of the way that this Liverpool team played. And if anyone's probably lost out most with Trent going, it's probably Mo Salah.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, even saying that, Trent didn't even play yesterday in El Clásico. He didn't even come on as a sub. They, had Valverde and then Carvajal. It's crazy, man. But Rio, I want to say thank you very much. I'm glad to see you a little bit happy, man, because I was getting worried a little bit every time
I've been down, man. I've been down. And understandably, Joe, I've been down. The team's been in the doldrums for a little while. But you know what? It's nice when your team are winning. I can walk around the streets now and people are chatting to me. But a Liverpool fan asked me something the other day. Like, he went, well, how you feeling, Rio? I went, mate, I'm not feeling as low as you, bruv. You're 4 defeats on a bounce, so shush. You know what I mean? I can give a bit back here and there now. So thanks to the Man United players and Ruben Amorim.
Well, that is it. Everybody watching Rio Presents, I want to say a massive shout out to our sponsors, Crafted. You guys have been, you got me blinging, man. You guys have been brilliant. I want to say thank you very much to everyone watching. Get those comments in. There's more shows coming. Rio, what's the next big interview? Because I see some stuff in the group chat the other day. Yeah,
man. Well, Dimitar Berbatov, man. I sat with him the other day, man. Listen, I found out some stuff about him that I've shared a dressing with him for a few years. I didn't even know. I said to him, bro, how the hell have I not known this? Have we not sat and spoke about this over dinner or lunch or breakfast or train journeys or plane journeys we've been on together? Like mad, some like outrageous stuff. So yeah, man, it's good. Got into that with him. I've got a special one coming up. I can't even tell you, bro.
It's not even Christmas yet. Man's moving like Santa.
This one's sick.
Hey, listen, man, keep up the great work. We are loving the channel. People are like, wow, this is some of the best content they've ever seen. Even I like the one where you were with Vidic on the bus and Luis Saha and you guys were just talking. I thought that was very it was a different type of filming, but it was real BTS stuff. So keep up the great work, Rio. And yeah, please make sure you subscribe and keep on watching the show. We will be back every week on Rio Presents. See you soon. Peace.